From the Lower Colorado River Authority, this is Wavelength.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the December edition of Wavelength. Well, you know, in the past when the LCRA and other electric utilities wanted to change their rates, they had to go before the Public Utility Commission. But now, since wholesale electric rates have been deregulated, those rates can be changed right here by the LCRA Board of Directors, and it's having a major impact on how LCRA prices its electricity.
With Price Select, those days are over, and now we can go to our customer with options.
Price Select is the LCRA's newest effort to get the upper hand in the ever-changing utility industry by offering our wholesale customers numerous ways to buy their power from the LCRA.
Well, there's three options, but there's really a fourth. In keeping with the spirit of total optionality, one of the options is you don't have to take any of these options. So we call it to do nothing, but it's there. Other than that, the other options that are in there are really trying to get our price and our costs in line with the market. And those are the key 3 points: price, cost, and market. One of the options allows our customers to go to the market themselves and buy power from somebody else for up to 10% of their load. Another option says, well, we as a broker for you will find the power that's at optimum price and pass those savings along to you for that 10%. And finally, the third option says, we'll look at the savings you could get off that 10% and completely design the way you buy 100% of your power in order to line our price and the costs in the market all up.
The bottom line to LCRA's customers is that they will save an estimated $24 million next year alone, and that will help ensure that each one of them remain competitive in their hometowns.
And the bottom line is this: Price Select is going to allow LCRA's wholesale customers the opportunity to significantly reduce its cost of electricity to their consumers at a time when we really need to do it.
We could say, well, it's a result of deregulation and competition, but really it's a step by the LCRA to get ahead of competition. We could sit back and say, our price is okay, it's pretty competitive right now, but it's a step beyond that. It's to challenge ourselves to lower our price and our costs and to get ahead of the game, if you will, to allow our customers and their retail users to be more competitive.
It used to be that when we talked about deregulation, it was always something that might happen someday. When Price Select goes into effect on Christmas Day, it will mark a very real beginning of a new way of doing business for the LCRA.
You'll see how we're going to start a 3 to 4 year commitment to lower our system-wide average rate. And we're going to try to do it on a win-win basis, not taking money from one customer and shifting it to another customer, but us absorbing the difference. We can do this. We can make this work. And we can do it without massive layoffs and cutting out, all of the programs and the things that we think are important to do. But it's going to be a different time for us. Our challenge is going to come to us more quickly than some of the retail utilities. But we're going to be ready. And Price Select is just one more step in how we stay ahead and we honor our commitment to our customers to keep them first and to keep them competitive.
So when Price Select goes into effect on Christmas Day, it will perhaps be one of the better holiday gifts for electric customers throughout Central Texas.
It's been more than a year now since the Texas Wind Power Project in the Delaware Mountains of West Texas began generating electricity. The plant, a joint project of the LCRA and the Texas General Land Office, can generate more than 35 megawatts of power, enough for over 10,000 average-size homes. The U.S. Department of Energy announced in October that the Wind Power Project had won a National Energy Efficiency and Renewable Energy Award.
From the beginning, it was just a dream. So many people thought it couldn't be done. Nobody had done it before us. LCRA was really stepping into new territory, very unknown. We're able to move up the project from a 3-year project to a 2-year project, working with the General Land Office. We've been through some hard times with the Kennetech bankruptcy and the storm last year. We're waiting on the data for the first year data to come in, but it's been sensational to see this thing go up out in West Texas, and then to have it come to such a good conclusion and be recognized nationally by DOE. But it's not the end. I think there's another step. I think we have to expand that plant and step boldly again into other portions of renewables.
In addition to producing non-polluting renewable energy, the wind power facility, which was built on state-controlled land, has already provided over $80,000 for the Permanent University Fund, which helps finance public education. Central Texas is experiencing a period of rapid growth. Williamson County is the fastest growing county in Texas and the fastest growing county in the United States. Many new homes in the area are being built to be more energy efficient, conserve water, and be environmentally friendly, a term many in the construction industry refer to as green.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Thank you.
In November, the LCRA and the City of Austin co-sponsored the 5th Annual Green Builder Conference at the Austin Convention Center. The conference featured 114 vendors and attracted thousands of people from 6 states and Mexico. Attendees could see everything from straw bale construction techniques to solar-powered lighting for the home. Van Estelle built the first energy-efficient Good Sense home in Gillespie County back in 1984, and today he says 100% of the homes he builds are Good Sense.
It has been a rewarding experience. The business side of it, it's a sales tool for our company. We feel that the minimal increase in cost has gained us many sales, and with the rebate program, there really is no additional cost to our customer.
The LCRA sees the conference as not only a way to promote energy efficiency and natural resource conservation, but also as an educational tool for its environmental programs.
The Green Building Conference is an outstanding opportunity for the LCRA to convey to the public that it is an organization that does a lot to promote environmental stewardship. And it's not only from an energy and a water perspective, but we do also other things across other lines of business as well.
The conference concluded with a self-guided tour of locally built green homes around the Austin area. This beautiful stretch of property along the Colorado River in Bastrop County is known as McKinney Roughs. LCRA bought these 1,348 acres in May of 1995 and will use the property as a natural science laboratory where people can learn about the environment in a natural, unspoiled setting. LCRA recently teamed up with the Seabourn Conservation Corps to not only help improve the property, but to give these teens, many from troubled backgrounds, a second chance. Corps members are helping LCRA crews clear a fence line and pick up trash from the property. The program is sponsored by the Department of the Navy, the Texas National Guard, and Texas A&M University at Galveston.
For the most part, we're a very successful program. A lot of our kids come back and see us. They bring us their pay stubs to drive us nuts. They like to come and help out. They like to talk to the younger classes behind them and tell them their success stories, you know, about how they've come from this gang or that gang or from doing this. And now I'm working for Shell out on an oil platform. I'm working for Sea River pushing barges.
They have a focus on environmental and conservation programs, and they're out here to do some community service, which really helps LCRA by stretching our crews out. As you know, we have a crew that works up and down the river on our properties to help maintain our properties. And with the Corps here, it's a very worthwhile project for them and also for us. We're looking to see if there are partnerships that we may be able to make with them in the future, focusing on our environmental and conservation projects and really teaching these kids how to go about in their communities with community service.
Just walk all the way up.
In addition to this kind of community service, Corps members also learn maritime skills, a good work ethic, and they have an opportunity to finish high school.
The program means a lot to me. It's helping me out in a lot of ways. It's changed my whole life around. I get along with people. My attitude has changed. I love it there. I think the program's great for anyone.
During the 9-month program, cadets perform 900 hours of community service and attend classes 4 hours a day, 6 days a week.
The Board of Directors and I wish you, and particularly LCRA's employees and families, a happy and joyous holiday season. Perhaps during this festive season, we can take some time to demonstrate goodwill toward men by sharing our joy with someone who may be saddened, lonely, or less fortunate than we are. May God bless you throughout the coming year with happiness, good health, and good fortune.
Even though our fiscal year doesn't end in December, it's still a time where we catch our breath a little bit, reflect on how things are going, take time to wish each other a happy holidays and a prosperous new year to come. And it's been a good 1996 for LCRA. A little bit on the crazy side. Everybody in the utility business is concerned these days about deregulation and what's going to happen to us and are we going to be able to survive and just how are we going to do all this. And the Lord knows I wish I had all the answers, but I don't. But there's a lot of good news out there in that I think we're heading in a great direction in the water and wastewater area with Waterco. We've settled out on the PUC and we know how we're going to be operating the transmission system, and we'll find our place in the electric business on the generation side, and it will be successful. So I look forward to a very bright 1997. As I always say and will say once again, when you peel off all the layers, the greatest two things about the LCRA, first, our mission, and that we really do have important work to do. And secondly, I'm pleased to be able to work with some of the greatest folks in Central Texas. And the people who work here are what make this organization special. So hats off to 96 and get ready for 97.
Raging floodwaters wash away parts of the hill country west of Austin. Good evening, I'm Stephanie Rochon.
And I'm Dick Ellis. Flooding in Central Texas tops our news tonight at 10. Heavy rainfall sends some rivers over their banks.
Tonight, a warning for people living along area lakes. Protect your property. Fox 7 begins with team coverage tonight from Lake Travis and Lake Marble Falls. We begin with Brooke Wagner at Lake Travis, where water levels are expected to rise 10 to 12 feet within hours.
Well, Stephanie, no one really seems to be too concerned about Lake Travis at this point, although it is expected to rise about a foot an hour overnight. But now I want to show you where that water was earlier this evening. These unbelievable pictures are from the Wirtz Dam, where photographer Steve Klein and I were earlier when 5 gates were open. Lisa Casolu will have a report from the dam in a moment. But all this water and quite a bit of debris is now coming down the river here to Lake Travis. In fact, an LCRA agent told us you're watching Lake Travis fill up. Marina owners have crews monitoring the levels and loosening the dock lines, and they've had ample warning, but if you own a boat, you may want to come down here.
You know, rather than waiting tomorrow and calling up the people that build their dock and say, hey, you better come down here and loosen this, they need to get down here and do it themselves.
We are at Emerald Port Marina, and you can see behind me where the water level is now. That's going to come up about 12 feet overnight. And right here you can see a tree that actually marks the normal water level out here. It's not going to come up that high, but it is going to make for better boating and better business out here. And one more thing to keep in mind, if you are planning on boating out here, there's going to be a lot of heavy debris you'll want to look out for, so be careful.
Thanks, Brooke. Fox 7's Brooke Wagner reporting live from Lake Travis.
Now, as you just heard, the floodwaters are racing downstream. The people living upstream had to handle the problems earlier today. At Lake Marble Falls, the floodgates opened early this afternoon when much of the water flowed over its banks. And that's where Fox 7's Lisa Casolu is. Lisa, what's the scene there tonight?
Well, Dick, 5 floodgates were open here this afternoon. Tonight, all but 2 have been closed. Now, it's still a lot of water, as you can see. Earlier today, we were upstream in the town of Kingsland when this water came through, and it was an amazing sight. It started as a wave, a couple of feet high. Within minutes, you could see the river surge. Then came the debris, the logs, the boats, even docks.
It came up about 3 or 4 feet here in a matter of 2 or 3 minutes. Just pretty incredible.
The water rushed by for hours. Folks who live around here say it's the worst they've seen since 1991.
It makes you have a lot of respect for what water can do, because for people who haven't seen it, you know, this is a real lesson learner here as to not get in the way of this stuff, because there's no way that you can survive if you're out there.
Lloyd Arms has the boat dock that's just on the other side of the County Road 2900 bridge.
So any idea on how much damage this is going to be?
Not until the water subsides. I've seen parts of my dock float down, but there's no telling how much.
Farther downstream, where the Llano and Colorado rivers meet, campers were surprised by the quick rush of water.
Well, we had all my husband's tools underneath the front of the trail thing is gone. Yeah. And he had his motorcycle parked here too, and somebody pulled that out.
Now, Dick, to give you an idea of how much water we're talking about right now coming through this dam, that's the equivalent, each gate, 20 billion gallons a day. That's the equivalent of 2 town lakes at flood stage.
That's an awful lot of water, Lisa. Thank you very much. Now, some parts of southern parts of the hill country are also underwater. We're going to take you over to Kerrville, where the picture really speaks for itself. Take a look at this coming up here. This is the Guadalupe River. As you can see, the river trail that runs parallel to it is completely underwater.
Burning coal has sometimes had a nasty reputation, but after years of work, the LCRA has turned what once was a cost into a profit.
You might say Texas coal burning has cleaned up its act. KV24's Treva Ladd has that story.
What does Austin's new airport, the additions to 183, Worth's Dam, and the streets of Circle C have in common? Coal, and its waste, coal ash, that comes from the Fayette Power Plant. Coal is brought in by rail and stored in these piles before it's carried by conveyor belts to these huge boilers and burned. The heat generated by the coal burning is used to convert water to steam to generate electricity.
Coal burning here at the Fayette Power Plant generates electricity for more than 1 million Central Texans. But you may not realize that the byproduct from this coal burning is coal ash, and it's stored here in these concrete silos. It's become a very valuable building material in construction and building highways.
The ash is broken down into several byproducts.
Fly ash actually displaces Portland cement, and it'll actually make a better concrete. We produce about 360,000 tons of coal combustion byproduct in a year. If you stack that out on a football field, it would reach as tall as a 20-story building.
All this coal waste was once sent to landfills and cost hundreds of thousands of dollars to get rid of. So what once was a nasty waste has now become a moneymaker. Treva Ladd, KVU 24 News.
The LCRA estimates it makes $1 million a year from selling the coal burning byproducts, that is.
Well, that's it for this edition of Wavelength. Thanks for watching. Our next show won't be till 1997, so happy holidays, everybody.